Hey, cousins. So I am in my bathroom about to go into a segment I'd like to call the Lady Creole Edit. It started off as a Substack post, turned into a one time email newsletter that failed miserably, and it is now a YouTube segment. So let's get into it. While it was designed to be a newsletter that comes out every quarter, I felt like that was doing a little bit too much and not in the scope of what people know me for. So I decided to change my mind.
And I think that's interesting that sometimes people don't like you to change your mind about things that you started, forgetting the fact that there is no rule book to this. People are just finding their way and trying to figure out life in general. But when you're being a creative, sometimes you just need to change your mind to do things that you want to do the way that you want to do it. And so here we are with a changed mind, about to do a skincare routine before I go to bed tonight. First up, we have the Anua Pro Care Pad to cleanse your face before you start getting into the deep cleansing. So we are in 2026, and there have been a lot of things that I want to accomplish. I have set out to accomplish as a foundational year for me. I talked about this on Threads, where I have a 3-year journey that I'm setting myself up to go on, and I'm hoping to document that journey, what it looks like as I learn, as I grow, as I continue to do what it is that I'm trying to do to accomplish so much. Now, I know that's very vague because there is so much that I'm trying to do, be it in my career, be it in my um, content creation space, family life, marriage, um, finances, spiritual growth, you name it. There are so many things that I'm trying to do. Um, all of it will not be out here on the interwebs, but there will be some things that I am willing to share with y'all. So let's get into that. Next up, we have the Anua Pore Control Cleansing Oil. As you can see, I have a very bumpy face and wide pores. This works so well. So over the past 4 years now, I have been on a self-discovery journey, and it has been a wild ride. Um, and this is 2 years post-COVID starting. And I didn't realize just how much I was coasting and not knowing what direction I wanted to go in. So I was in friendships that were unhealthy. I was in uh, self destructive behavior, in a sense of it is outside of my norm. So anything for me that is outside of my norm that could be seen as negative, I see it as self destructive behavior. So, no, I'm not an alcoholic. No, I'm not a drug addict. There's real people who have those issues. But for me, the decisions that I have been making have not always been the best decisions over the past 4 years. Be that in my connections that I'm building, be that in the decisions that I'm making for uh, future endeavors. I really let myself fall by the wayside. And the first part was my health. Then it became destructive when it came to relationships. And then it trickled into being big spender. Like I move bricks. It was a lot. Those are the three main areas where I just kind of like really let myself go. And I cannot tell you how hard it has been in therapy to just deal with some of those things. Like those three things have been my main focus for the past 4 years. And I don't want them to be the focus for the next 3 years that I'm on this journey. I want to be healed from so much of not dealing with the things that I really need to deal with where those areas are being impacted, because I will not deal with those issues that are internally causing me to make such poor decisions. And I realized that I needed to have a real hard look in the mirror, a serious talk with that couch lady, and a deep, deep prayer with big sandals, because your girl was out here doing the most. Next up is this Medicube Zero Pore SA Clear Capsule Cleansing Foam. This is really good for people who have acne. I have really bad adult acne. So, in the process of living loud and wrong, I really started to notice that my influential factors, be they relationship, be they social media, be they just random acts of foolishness, really wasn't conducive to what I was trying to achieve long term. And I lost sight of that. So much has taken my eyesight off of what was important. Like, granted, I never let my family life be impacted. I never let um, my livelihood take a real hit to where we're poor and destitute and we're out here struggling and not doing what we need to do. But I can tell that my soul was heavy. My spirit was going through a whole lot. And 2025 really did take me through a ride of seeing just how I let all of that build up from 2022. Now, granted, I talk a lot about how reading saved me. Like, y'all know, if you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, which I'm not on as much as I used to be, Threads, you name it, I talk a lot about how reading saved me. And books have always been my go-to, my escape, but they have been my saving grace. Um, because the stories they tell give me hope. They really do give me hope. And if you know me, you know I love the streets. Y'all know I love urban fiction. But even those books have stories where hope is still possible. And I actually loved going through these past few years and having reading as my companion on the journey. It was still wild, but I didn't completely lose who I was because I was able to read and hold on to something to keep me grounded, in a sense, if that makes sense. Next up is Dermalogica Daily Exfoliant. Now that I have spent some time, like I really spent the last quarter of 2025 going through and taking inventory of everything that I could have done better, and not being hard on myself, but seeing it as a lesson learned. Like, I take away from failed friendships, you know, maybe this person was sent to teach me something about future relationships. Maybe this has run its course and we don't need to be in each other's space. And I'm cool with that, to be honest. Um, I joke about it with my therapist a lot that my cutoff game is strong. Like, I will ghost somebody who has disrespected me in a heartbeat. I don't care if we family, I don't care if we friends. If you disrespect me, I'm gonna ghost you. I don't care what the narrative is that you spend with everybody else around us. I've let go. I've let go. I don't care to be right. I don't care to know how you feel. I don't care to know anything else, because at this point, when there has been a level of disrespect, I want no parts, because old me would have bust you across your face. But I'm not like that no more. I go to therapy. Um, I just get to a point. I just got to a point in 2025 where it's like, you know, how many times am I going to allow someone to play in my face? And what am I going to do about it? And the moment I walked away I felt better. I felt better. I felt like I didn't need closure. I didn't need anything to linger anymore. It's no ill will. If I see you, I speak. I can be cordial, but we're not friends. And I'm okay with that. And I think part of that comes with age for me. Took me a while to get there, y'all. Took me a while. Next up is the Anua Soothing Toner. I knew that there was so much that I didn't want to bring with me going into 2026. And I know there are some people who didn't have to do any cutoffs, some people who didn't have to make any hard decisions, some people who didn't have to make the changes that I have had to change. But I personally knew I had been going on this path of self destruction for quite some time. And even my core set of friends, my new set of friends who I have been loving engaging with, I knew that it wasn't a decision that I could have them help me make. I really had to sit down and talk to God about what it is that I needed to do. Like, I could not keep going down this path. This wasn't me. This wasn't who I am. And I needed to change my surroundings. I needed to change my circumstances. I needed to change how I moved. And that's not just a relationship type of move, it's a financial move, it's a health move. So now I'm working out 4 to 5 times a week. Now I have an entire financial plan with investments and cutting back on book spending. And in some cases, in the next couple of years, the next 3 years, honestly, I'll be cutting back on book events. So 2026, I will be doing 4 book events. 2027, I was doing 3, but there's a conflict, and I'll be doing 2. And then in 2028, I'm doing no book events because that's the year that I turn 40. And I have some things in mind that I want to achieve. So this is the Medicube PDRN pink caffeine night wrapping mask. So I sleep with this at night after I put on my toner. So I ended up putting the mask on off camera because it's very sticky. But as I was putting the mask on, I just realized like it's going to peel off in the morning and my skin is going to feel rejuvenated. And it just reminded me that for the past 4 years, I've kind of been coasting and wearing this mask that needed to be peeled off. Um, whether it's behaviors that I feel are self destructive or self sabotaging. That's the word I was looking for, self sabotaging. And not operating in my full self and being spiritually and emotionally and physically drained because I have not been operating in myself. I have not been putting myself in the best surroundings in which I should have. And I'm ready to do better now. I am really ready to do better. I want to be able to say, when I look back in 2028, December 31st in 2028, I want to be able to look back at this video and say that I made the right decision. I took a leap of faith and decided it was time for me to make changes. So I know I've rambled a lot and I was just putting on stuff on my face just to clean it for the night. But I hope that you guys can learn something from this video and that you're willing to take this journey with me. If so, you can like, share, subscribe. Definitely leave your comments. I would love to hear what are some lessons that you learned in 2025 and how are you going forward to make the changes that you need to make. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening and watching the Lady Creole Edit.